Do you think it's worth your time to sell on Mercari? For me, I'm not so sure. Hi, thanks so much for joining me today. My name is Heather and I am an online reseller. To those of you who are new to my channel, welcome, welcome. I am so excited to have you here. So today I'm going to be sharing with you some of the things that have sold for me recently. And then afterwards, I think that we're going to talk a little bit about Mercari and whether or not I should continue to sell on there, because lately things have just not been going quite the way that I would like for them to. For those of you who have been following my channel, I do apologize for the irregularity of my videos lately. I do try to get them out at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, but things are crazy and every night it's something new. I have my kids home all day long, and so I usually only can do videos at night. I do happen to have the circumstance right now where I do have both of my little guys in bed. And I have no packages today. Unfortunately, I did not sell anything yesterday, so I do have a quiet window of opportunity right now to get a video done. I was hoping to get this video done last night, but then of course I remembered that the Olympics are on and I really love ice skating, and I thought, oh, this is something that happens just, once every 2 years. And so I opted to go and watch the Olympics instead, so sorry for that. I'm sure that some of you really enjoy watching the Olympics too. I know for me personally, it's the ice skating and the gymnastics that I think are the most enjoyable, and so I always make sure to tune in for the Olympics to watch both of those events. But there are not any ice skating competitions going on tonight. They don't go again until tomorrow. So today we will be working on a video for you. I've had a few plush sell for me recently. I sold this cute little Charmco kitty. It is actually vintage. I think it was dated 1986. This one I picked up for just 32 cents at the Goodwill outlet, and it sold for $13.48. And then I had another Goodwill bins pickup, which is the Goodwill outlet if you're unfamiliar with the Goodwill bins. This one is by Jellycat. It's this cute little mumble elephant. And I picked this up for just 72 cents because the weight is done by the pound at the bins. And this one sold for $35.97. And then I sold this cute little penguin by Gabby Toy. This one I actually picked up at a normal Goodwill, and I picked it up for just 43 cents. I had a discount and it was one of the plush that was in the 50-cent bin, and it sold for $20. So like I've mentioned before, if you're a regular here, it is definitely worth looking up plush when you see them. If they are gross or they smell like smoke, then you definitely should probably not pick them up. But there are a lot of them, if you get more unique ones, that can go for some really good money. I picked up these Clark's Padley men's boots from Goodwill. These were in really good condition. If you don't sell a lot of shoes, boots can do really well. Obviously, the better the brand, the more they will go for. And men's usually do better even than women's in a lot of circumstances, because there just isn't near as much men's available as there is for women. But I picked these up for just $5.68, and they sold for $40, so that was a really nice profit. So I'm not going to tell you to go and buy everything baby that you see, but some baby stuff does bring in good money. I picked up this cute little Ralph Lauren romper at Once Upon a Child at a clearance end of the season sale. It was just like $1.08 because of the tax. And this sold within 2 days. And mind you, it is the middle of winter right now. And this still sold really fast for $22.45. So I made almost $20 in profit off of that item. So this one's actually another Ralph Lauren item, except for this one is Lauren by Ralph Lauren. And this is a women's blazer. And I just recently picked this up at a garage sale. And I picked it up for just $7. And I was really happy that this sold fairly quickly. I would say within maybe 6 weeks for $70. This woman at this garage sale was actually, when she sold it to me, telling her husband that she had paid $300 for this originally. And of course he was like, "What? You paid how much for it?" So I definitely knew that it was worth a lot when I was at the garage sale. But yeah, I was really happy with that sale, and it did have quite a few likers and a lot of interest, but I held out and I did get up there in that $70 range, which is what I was really hoping for. On Poshmark, I sold these cute little Fergalicious Malachite booties. I got these at Ross. They were highly discounted. I picked them up for just $4.89, including the tax, and they sold for $30. If you don't do retail arbitrage, you should definitely be keeping your eyes out when you are out shopping for things that are discounted. I usually like to pick things up when they're 90%, 80%. I know that you don't see it that cheap very often, but when you do, it's definitely worth giving them a second look, because even though these weren't a super hot brand, it's just Fergalicious. And I knew that when I picked them up because they were brand new and it was substantially off on the percentage of the actual price. I knew that there was still some possibility for profit there. I picked up these Aerosoles Montana Mules at Goodwill. I paid just $2.83 for these, and they sold for $30. Shoes can be really good, women's shoes especially, when they are in really good condition, which these ones were. So this next one was a really good pickup. I actually found this J. Crew dress. It's this pretty peach evening dress. It's kind of got like a creped feel to it. I picked this up at a garage sale for just $1, and I was really shocked to find it. They had a whole blanket laid out and everything on the blanket was $1, and you could tell that they had tried to sell some of it previously. Like this one had a tag on it for $10, which it must obviously not have sold, and it did have the original tag still on it. And so I was very happy to pick this up. I listed it and I sold it within a few weeks for $55. So yeah, I'm sure a lot of you know that J. Crew is a pretty sought after brand right now, and especially something that's more valuable like this evening gown is definitely something that you would want to pick up. And then the last sale that I'm going to share with you is another great pickup that I found at Ross. I found these Not Your Daughter's jeans. These are a wide leg trouser, but they were in a really good size. They were size 18, and it actually said 18 WP, which I still am not sure what that means. I tried looking it up and couldn't figure it out, so I just listed it as 18 WP, and hopefully they know what that means. But I picked these up for just $4.35 at Ross, and they sold fairly quickly. I would say within less than 2 weeks for $64. I do think that that is a better brand, but I think that the size also really helped that out. Usually higher sizes tend to do better because just like men's items, there's just less of them out there, and so there's a higher demand for them. So let's talk about Mercari for a little bit. I've been thinking a lot about Mercari lately, and I am just not really sure that I should still be cross-posting and listing on Mercari, because it just is not giving me the numbers that I would like to have over there. And I question, is it worth my time to be cross-posting and unlisting those items when they sell on the other platforms? Or am I better off using that time and just listing on eBay and Poshmark? Because for me, at least, I by far get the most of my sales from eBay, and Poshmark does quite a bit better than Mercari usually too. Mercari always is the lowest of the three. To be fair to Mercari though, I do not have a whole gob of stuff on Mercari. Right now I think I have 440 items on there, and I think I might have just a little bit more on Poshmark, maybe in the 600 range. And I do usually have about 1,200 on eBay. But even if I multiply things out, it still doesn't really compare with the other ones. I started selling on Mercari in April of 2020. And for that first year, I would say I probably was selling about 6 or 7 things per month, a little bit less when I very first started. But when I first started, I was just taking things off of eBay and then cross-posting them over. So it was all stuff that I had already had on eBay for quite a while. And then when I would list new things, then I would also list it onto Mercari at that same time frame. And then this last summer we did have a big move, and we had to stay with family for a couple of months in Portland, and I went to the bins and I did a lot of toy shopping while I was there. And it seems that toys do fairly well on Mercari, because that was actually one of my best months while I was there. In July, I did sell like 24 items, I believe, which is by far the best that I've ever had on Mercari, and most of those that month were toys. But then since the summer, it's gone back kind of to normal, and I've been selling probably 10 to 14 items, so a little bit better than the previous year over the fall and this last winter time frame. But then like in January, so this last month, I only sold 3 items. And it's a little hard to want to spend the time to go and cross post onto Mercari when, you know, you only sold 3 things. And of those 3 things, I made a whole whopping like $27. And even when things were a little bit better in the fall and I was doing 10 to 14 items, you know, that was still only $100 to $300 a month that I was getting in profit from Mercari. Anyway, I would love to know, do you sell on Mercari? If you sell on Mercari, what kind of sales are you getting? Do you feel like you sell a lot on there? Do you feel like it's worth your time? I know I've seen some other resellers online that also cross-post onto Mercari, and it seems to be the same thing where they sell more on the other platforms than they do on Mercari. So I would love to know your guys' opinions. What do you think? Should I totally can Mercari, or do you think that maybe I should just keep it up and maybe increase the number of listings that I have, and then maybe things will be better? Right now, I'm kind of leaning towards just listing maybe 1 or 2 items each day on Mercari, and then spending the rest of my time solely listing on eBay, because even still, I do a lot more on eBay than I even do on Poshmark. And so for me, it might just make more sense, since I don't have a ton of time in the day, to devote more of my time primarily to eBay, instead of filtering off to cross post on these other websites. But yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on Mercari right now. I would love to know what you guys think and what your experiences have been on Mercari. So please be sure to let me know down in the comments. I hope that you are having an awesome week of sales if you are a reseller, and if you are new to reselling or thinking about reselling, be sure to let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to help you out. I love to help new resellers. I have been doing this for a long time, and I know that it can be really hard. So if you have any questions that I might be able to help with, please let me know down in the comments. Thanks so much for joining me today, guys, and I hope to see you in the next one.